it's the ideal time for Toronto to get a new logo, but we are arguing that Toronto gets back its old logo, which is the Metro Toronto logo.
You see it everywhere you look in Toronto, the city's logo. But now a pair of civic enthusiasts have launched a petition to see it changed. We met Daniel Rothstein at what used to be the border between York and Toronto over 20 years ago.
The border actually ran through the backyards.
Okay, can we just walk over and can you show me like exactly where it was?
I'm about to walk right over the border, or maybe this line right here.
Now both sides of this line are one city, created when 6 municipalities were amalgamated to form the current city of Toronto. Rothstein says the logo for the since disbanded regional government might be worth a second look.
It has 6 kind of interweaving loops, and each of the 6 loops represents one of the former independent cities and boroughs that made up Metro Toronto. So you have North York, Scarborough, East York, Toronto, York, and Etobicoke.
He calls it a contrast to the city's current image of New Toronto City Hall.
Kind of is inward-looking and bureaucratic and only represents one part of the mega city.
He says it's an idea he started pondering after the recent Supreme Court ruling that upheld the Ford government's reduction of city wards from 47 to 25, and points out that there are still cases of the logo being used today. One example of where you can still find the logo being used in the city is Metro Hall in downtown Toronto. But he may be facing an uphill battle. In a written statement to City News, the city says there is no plan to change its brand or logo. It is a well-known and well-regarded brand in the city among residents and businesses. Ultimately, it would require direction from City Council and the necessary budget to engage in such an endeavor.
My first reaction is, what's behind the petition?
Meanwhile, Shauna Braille, an economic geographer and urban planner with the University of Toronto, says while she's not convinced now is the time for a civic rebranding, the idea may have merit in starting some useful discussion.
Any idea that forces us to go back and question, why do we do something the way we do? Why do we represent something the way we decided to 20 years ago or 100 years ago or whatever it is? Those are important questions. We need to be asking those questions.
As of Friday afternoon, the petition has about 100 signatures. Daniel saying the logo also serves to help us understand a little bit more about our own urban lore.
This represents the 6, and Drake's the 6 is named as such because of the 6 former cities that made up Toronto.
So for people who don't know or maybe are new to town, that's where the name The 6 comes from.
So there's a misconception that it's 416-647 area codes, but done some research and it actually refers to this 6 former boroughs.
In downtown Toronto, David Zura, City News.